Welcome to the Module 3 of Microsoft Word application. In this module, we are going to look at paragraph layouts and alignment. All right, that is line spacing and paragraph spacing, and also justifications. So these are the various aspects we are going to look in this module. Okay, how do we apply alignment? Could it be you want to apply left alignment, center, right alignment, and also justify our text or document? So how do we do that? At the end of this module, you should be able to align your text either to the right, center, left, or justify. And also, if you want to add line spacing or paragraph spacing at the end of this module, you should be able to do that. Features or to apply these effects on your document or your text. Very, very important and very, very interesting. Okay, and as always stated in the previous models, the ribbon is very, very important. It's a very important bar that or toolbar that we should have it in our fingertips. Okay, especially those working with project works. All right, it's very important because if you know the ribbon, if you know the tab, the various tabs and their tools, the most commonly tools that we use for our project works, when you know them, if you come to your Microsoft Word and you want any of them, you wouldn't be stressing yourself searching for where you can find that particular tool. Okay, so where do we find alignment, line space, and paragraph spacing in our Microsoft Word? So you can find these tools under the home tab of the ribbon. As you can see, I'm currently on my home tab of the ribbon. Okay, and stated these tools are grouped. Okay, these tools are good. The first group clipboard, the second font, and the third one which is paragraph. So the alignment and the line spacing and paragraph spacing can be found in the paragraph group of the home tab of the ribbon. Okay, so as you can see, we have these four men in line. Yes, four men in line. And the first one is the align left, and then center and align right, and also justify. So these are the alignment types that we are going to apply to our documents. Okay, so how do we then apply this alignment features? Okay, alignment styles. Yes, and in the previous model 2, I stated that before you can apply these features to your document, to your text in Microsoft Word, you have to first of all select that particular paragraph or that particular text that you want to apply the feature to. If you don't select it, Microsoft Word wouldn't recognize what you are going to do, even if you go to perform that action. But because you didn't select anything, any word or any paragraph there, Microsoft Word wouldn't know what exactly you are going to do. So that feature effect wouldn't be on your document or your text. Okay, so you have to select it, and immediately you select it, Microsoft Word will signal that, oh, you want to perform an action to this particular paragraph or to this section that you've selected. So whatever action that you are going to take, the effect will take place. Okay, so we first of all select, let's assume we want to align this first paragraph. Yes, so I'll first of all select the whole paragraph. All right, and I'll come to my alignment section, and already it's aligned to the left. Okay, already it's aligned to the left. So if I want to center it, I'll click on center, and as you can see, my paragraph is centered. If I want it to be aligned to the right, I'll click on align to the right, and as you can see, it is aligned to the right. If I want it to be justified, so I'll click on the justify, and my paragraph will be justified. Also take note, they have their shortcuts. Okay, very, very interesting shortcuts. Control plus their last is it their letter beginning. Yes, their letter beginnings that they use for their shortcuts, except the center, which uses E. Yes, so if you want a line to the left, it's control plus L. Yes, L for left. Yes, and if you want center, control plus E. Yes, on your keyboard. Take note of that. These shortcuts are very important. If you want a line to the right, control plus R, R for right. Okay, and if you want to justify, control plus J on your keyboard, J for justify. Yes, very, very important and very, very interesting shortcuts. Okay, those of us that are working with a huge project works, these shortcuts are very, very important. Now, if you want to work at a press, at a printing press, sorry, if you want to work at a printing press, yes, cafe, all those stuff. These shortcuts are very, very important, because if you don't know these shortcuts, always you'll be driving your customers away, because you always be delaying. Let's assume you don't use shortcuts. When will you select this, and then you come here, you pick this, that. But if you know the shortcut, immediately you just select it, you quickly press your shortcut on your keyboard, and that feature will be applied, and you move away. Always you'll be beating time. Not that your customers will be waiting, at the end of the day, they will be bored. Okay, very, very important. So this is how we apply the alignment. So let's assume I want to apply these alignment features to the whole document. So I'll press my Control plus A to select the whole document, and maybe I want to align the whole document left. So I'll click on align left, and listen and see that alignment is set. And now if I want center, I'll pick center. As you can see, the whole document is centered. Okay. If I want to the right, I'll pick right, and as you can see, the whole document is aligned to the right. If I want to justify the whole document, I'll click justify. As you can see, it is justified. Very, very important. Take note of that. Yes, these alignments are very, very important when it comes to creation of cover pages. Okay, universities, when you are, or project works, when you want to design your cover page, mostly we have to center it. Okay, mostly we center our cover page. All right. So it's very, very important. Yes, my university, like the UCC, University of Cape Coast. If we are designing a cover page, after you write University of Cape Coast, Department of so and so, school of this and that, put your logo, your index number, lecturer's name, as a topic, and all those stuffs. After that, you have to center everything, okay, to have a very neat cover page. So the alignment is very, very important for our academic purposes and also our office purposes. So take note of that. So the next thing that we are going to look at is the line spacing. Okay, the line spacing. How do we set line spacing and also paragraph spacing for our document and our text? Very, very important. Yes, the line spacing. In some cases, the instructor or your manager will specify, yes, use line spacing of 2.0, 1.15, 1.5 for the document, or add space before the paragraph, or add space after the paragraph. So these are very, very important. So if these are specified for your project, you have no issue. Yes, if not, you have to make sure. That's how we say that you have to make sure you know your institution recommendations. Yes, you have to know the line spacing and the paragraph spacing that your institution use, and the alignments that they use for their documentations. Very important. You have to make sure you get to know them. So if they are your project, this some of these things are not specified, but you should know where you are starting and where you are ending. Very, very important. So how do we apply the line spacing? So let's assume I want to apply line space to this paragraph, right? I'll first of all select it. Don't forget, I'll first of all select it, and I'll come to my line and paragraph spacing, click on it, and this numerical values that are seen for the line spacing. Okay, and as you can see, as I'm going through there, I can see my paragraph spacing is increasing. Yes, it's increasing. Yes, it has from 1.0 to 3.0. Or if it's commonly used line spacing doesn't match your document, we have line spacing options. So if you click on the line spacing option, you get this dialog, and which you specify your line spacing measurements. Okay, and you get it. Okay, all right. But let's assume I want to pick a line spacing of 2.0. Yes, my institution, sometimes most of the assignments, the lecturers recommend 2.0 or 1.5 for line spacing. Okay, line spacing. So as you can see, I've chosen 2.0. As you can see, there are spaces between my lines of the paragraph. Okay, yes. If I want this 2.0 line spacing to the whole document, I'll apply the whole document, and I'll come to my line spacing, and I'll pick 2.0. Yes, as you can see, the whole document, that line space 2.0 is applied to the whole document. Okay, so if I want 1.5, I'll come to pick it, and it will apply. All right, so the next thing that we're going to look at is paragraph spacing. Okay, paragraph spacing. So let's assume I want to add paragraph spacing. I want to add space before each paragraph. Okay, space before paragraph. Okay, or I want to add space after paragraphs. As currently you can see my document, there is a space before or after the paragraphs. Okay, as you can see, this is the end of the first paragraph, and this is the beginning of the second paragraph. As you can see, there are spaces between the paragraphs. Okay, so if I don't want this space, if I come to my line spacing paragraphs, as you can see, the last one, remove space paragraph. Okay, meaning space after paragraph was applied to my document. So I'll quickly click on it, and it will be removed. As you can see, now there are no spaces between my paragraphs, or there are no spaces after my paragraphs. Okay, so this is, I think it didn't apply to the next paragraph because it's like my document, all of my document wasn't applied, selected. So okay, yes, it was, yes. So there are no spaces. Okay, there are no spaces. So if I want to add space before paragraphs, so I'll select, make sure you select the whole document, and I'll come back there, and I'll pick add space before paragraph. So you can see there are spaces. Yes, this is the end of my first paragraph, and this is the beginning of the second paragraph. Yes, as you can see, there are spaces. Yes, there are spaces. So this line spacing and paragraph spacing are very important because they make your work neat. They make your work neat. So that's why most assignments or most project works in our institutions, they recommend line spacing 2.0, and also maybe 1.5 to make your work neat. If not, if I let's assume I'm taking one taking 1.0, as you can see, like the spacing between the words, it will be like it's like the word are clustered, like congested, and it doesn't look neat. Okay, yes. So this they add neatness to your work. Yes, they add neatness to your work. But let's assume I picked 1.0 line spacing, and then the paragraph, so I remove, I don't want any space between. As you can see, how would you, it will be very hard for you to specify the paragraphs. Okay, yes, it will be very hard, as you can see. Yes, so this is very important for our academic purposes and also our office business. So at this juncture, I believe after this model, you should be able to align your text. Either you want to align to the right, to the left, center, to the right, and also justify. And also, you want to add line spacing or paragraph spacing to your document. You should be able to do that. Yes, and I believe your project works will be delivered successful with that. Anyone spending your money for some of these common tips or these petty things that we can use less than a minute to apply, right? So thank you for watching this module. In the next module, we're going to look at structural element, that is creation of clean data tables, okay, which is very, very important, and also important, very, very important. So see you in the next module. Bye.